I don't know anything about sports, I don't know anything about basketball, I don't know anything about college basketball, but I'm tired of not participating in my friend's bracket pool. So this time I'm gonna submit a bracket and I'm actually gonna speed run it. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to make a bracket when you know nothing about anything. Here's the bracket website, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and fill this out. So you have East versus West. And I didn't even know this, but down here you have South versus the Midwest. Where's the North? I don't know. Maybe they did not get the invite to the tournament this year. Starting with Duke versus Siena. Duke is always a power player here in this tournament as far as I'm aware because I've never heard of Siena. So Duke, easy pick right here as a 1 seed. They're the 1 seed, that means they're the best. We all know that. Ohio State, I'm gonna give it to them because my friend is a diehard Ohio State person. And I'm sure he has them going all the way. TCU, tough luck, maybe next year. St. John's versus Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa has a little bit of purple in the logo, and I like purple, so we're going with that. And then Kansas versus CA Baptist. This is a tough one because I'm from Missouri, and Kansas is kind of their rival. So on principle, I think I'm not going to go with Kansas, even though we all know as the 4 seed, they are the better team than whatever CA Baptist is. That's going to give us a really exciting Northern Iowa CA Baptist matchup that I can't wait to totally watch. We also have the Louisville versus South Florida, and this kind of looks like a Cardinal. And like I said, I grew up in St. Louis with loyalty to the Cardinals. I know that is a completely different sport, but we are going to select it for that. And I would love nothing more than a great matchup between the 6th seed and the 14th seed, North Dakota Street. I love North Dakota Street. My grandma grew up there, and I've been very fond of it ever since. I don't know, actually. I mean, Michigan, it looks like they're the Trojans, maybe, and I went to USC, and we were the Trojans, and you'll notice that USC is not in this tournament at all. So, you know, there can only be 1 Trojans in the tournament, and unfortunately, it's not USC this time, but I also don't see Michigan making it that far because of this complex math that I'm doing here. UCLA is USC's rival as far as I remember from my time there, so I'm going to root for UCF. I'm assuming that's University of Central Florida, and I know I don't want to offend the people of University of Central Florida, so I'm just going to move on. UConn versus Furman. It's kind of ironic because this is a wolf, which is furry, so this is kind of like the Furman. But I'm not going to pick Furman because their logo kind of looks like those AI logos, like the ChatGPT, the Gemini type like star. Kind of looks like my own logo actually, which is, you know, on me. But I'm going to just go for UConn. And plus, we all know that UCF and UConn have a historic rivalry, and I can't wait to see them battle it out on the court. So that covers the first round on the East. I guess before we decide who goes further, we should go to the West. And obviously, Long Island is going to beat Arizona round 1. I know they're a 16 seed, but look at that shade of blue. That's just a beautiful shade of blue, and I'd like to see them go all the way because of that. Villanova versus Utah State. I'm giving it to Villanova because I have a good friend whose last name is like Villeneuve, and so the shout out to him. Shout out to Zach. I should ask him how to pronounce his name. Wisconsin versus High Point. I mean, with a name like High Point, you're going to be scoring the highest amount of points in any game. So I'm sure all their teams are amazing. I don't know where in the country that is, but that's what keeps it so exciting to watch them because maybe one day we'll find out where they are. And I would love to see Hawaii come to the mainland and crush High Point. We already know that's going to happen in an upset later in round 2, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. And it's going to be really ironic because of what I just said about High Point. But they can't always have the highest point, okay? It's just statistically not likely. BYU versus Texas. Texas, you know, enough said. Do I need to say anything more? This looks like Yahoo, and no one has used Yahoo in a really long time, okay? Even Bing is better. Gonzaga versus Kennesaw. This logo is way too confusing. It kind of reminds me of the STL Cardinals, you know, text logo, but worse. And I've heard the name Gonzaga a lot. They're the 3 seed, and that means they're going to plant 3 seeds, and at least one of them is going to sprout to fruition. So I can't wait to see Gonzaga versus Texas. Miami versus Missouri. This is kind of our school, Mizzou. I didn't go there, but all my friends did. So let's put Mizzou going pretty far. And then Purdue versus Queens. This is a tough one. I feel like Queens has more of the sauce. Queens has a little bit more sauce with this lion with a crown on it. Purdue is just the letter P, and P is what you do when you drink too much, and it's just no one wants to see that. Okay, and I was told that Nebraska is probably going to win this tournament, yet I have not seen them, so they must be in the Southwest. What is it? The Midwest? They're probably somewhere in the Midwest. We'll get there. Let's finish this bracket out. Duke versus Ohio State. This is kind of a crazy one. 1 versus 8. Now, my friend is going to believe Ohio State's going to upset, but we know Duke, they've got this one in the bag, okay? Northern Iowa versus CA Baptist. If you'll remember, this one has the purple in the logo, so I'll be rooting for them. And we're going to see Duke versus Northern Iowa. I wonder what happens if you hit preview. Is it like a stat comparison or something? I don't really know what these numbers mean. This screen is really scaring me. I'm going to click off of this, but good luck to Duke. Okay. Louisville versus North Dakota. We're going to put the Cardinals in there because of the St. Louis representation, even though it's a completely different state. UConn for the Wolf. This is going to be a hype game, guys. Cardinal versus Wolf. We know a Wolf beats a Cardinal in a fight, most likely, unless the Cardinal outsmarts the Wolf. And I think Iowa's upsetting Duke, honestly. Like, it's going to be really interesting, but they have the purple power, and Duke, yeah, they're a big D, but do they really have big Ds? I don't know. So we're looking at Northern Iowa versus UConn, and that's a 12 versus a 2. This time I'm going to use my actual knowledge here to say that they're more likely to win. I'm putting them through. But maybe I have it backwards, honestly. That'd be pretty funny. Okay, yeah, I also don't know how this tournament works at all, if that's not clear. We already predicted Hawaii, but who are they going to be playing? They're going to be playing Long Island. That's pretty interesting, too. The two islands matchup, 16 and 13. Most people aren't going to watch this game because these numbers are so high, but I'll actually be in the front row of this game, so look out for me on the screens. Let's see. High Point. Yeah, we already said that. Okay, Texas Gonzaga. Gonzaga, it is what it is, okay? Missouri, they always lose, but I'm going to believe in them. I'm going to believe in them this time, which means our final 2 from here would have to be Long Island. I'm sorry, Missouri, but I don't believe in you anymore. Gonzaga. Okay, this could happen. I could believe this. Long Island people, they ball. They ball. Okay, so that means UConn. Wait, TBD? Did I miss something? I thought I made the picks. We'll see. It's kind of confusing. Shouldn't there be another thing here? Shouldn't it? Oh, I have to pick who wins here. I'm rooting Long Island, guys. This is my new favorite team in the league. So we're going to have UConn, Long Island, and I have to pick who wins here and a tiebreaker. We know that there's going to be 224 points. I already crunched those numbers. I'm entering the sweepstakes. I'm going to win a $5,000 gift card. And I do agree that ESPN can share all of my data, of course. And I'm taking Long Island all the way, at least to Indianapolis on April 6th. Let's kind of remember, this is a speed run. Wow, these are good logos. These are good logos here. Florida, Clemson, McNeese. I don't know what that is, but Vanderbilt, they're having kind of like an off season. That's what my gut is telling me here. Nebraska's going to win it all. Nebraska's going to win it all. That's the one tip I've been given. North Carolina, I have a friend who went there. I'm sure they're good because of that. Illinois, my mom went there. They're probably good because of that. Texas A&M. A&M reminds me of A&W root beer, which is good. And they had the funniest like burger video, if you know what I'm talking about, in the Burger Wars. So I'll give it to them. Houston, Idaho. Houston, I had one of my childhood best friends moved away to Houston, and they're probably good because of that. They're also the 2 seed. Okay, Michigan. Is this a different Michigan? My friend went there, and that's probably why these guys are good. They're the 1 seed as well. St. Louis. Is this SLU? I'm taking St. Louis pretty far, but I think they're decent, but not great. Texas Tech versus Akron. Akron reminds me of the apple Akon, and that kind of reminds me of an acorn. So I like that. That makes me happy. So I'm just going to click that. Alabama versus Hofstra. I don't know what this is, but I'm clicking on it because I like to learn new things. So one day I'll learn where that is. Tennessee versus Ohio. This is too confusing because Ohio Miami is not in Ohio, but I guess this isn't Miami that is in Ohio, but that's unfortunately a little too much for my brain to handle. So Tennessee is just a nice big T. Nothing confusing about that. Virginia and Wright Street. Wright reminds me of the actor Jeffrey Wright, who I actually met once, and he's in a video game I'm playing right now on this channel called Dispatch. Cool guy. He was in Westworld. He's in Batman. I'm doing that. Kentucky, Santa Clara. This one, SC. That's kind of like USC. I could pretend like USC is in the tournament, so I'm going to do that, even though that's kind of sad. And then the Tennessee Tigers are going to upset Iowa State at 11:50 a.m. on this day. Okay, all right. Okay, this is coming along good. Clemson beats... the Gators kind of cool, and they're the 1 seed over here. I don't know how any of this works. Nebraska's winning it all. North Carolina versus Illinois. I feel like these schools are actually both good. I'm going to give it to Illinois. A&M, man. Texas A&M. It has a special place in my heart. No way St. Louis beats Michigan. But for the fun of it, Akon, Wright, Santa Clara, USC, or just SC. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, and then Florida, Nebraska. Nebraska overtakes Florida, but they're a worse seed. But I went to a Nebraska game, and they were good. They got Rink Mast. That's the only guy I know in this. He's good. Fuck it. St. Louis, they're making it farther and then losing to Nebraska. Watch this be perfect, by the way. This is why I'm documenting this. Santa Clara will win. Illinois will win. St. Louis. Nebraska, St. Louis. Let's do it, bro. I don't even know if that is St. Louis or not. Okay. St. Louis will lose to Long Island 100%. They've got the sauce that we don't have. And Nebraska will win here. And then I have to pick the final. We're looking at a Nebraska-Long Island final, guys, on April 6th. And let's check the stats page, of course. Oh, my God. Okay, this is... okay, this is their record, I guess. I don't know who's the better team from this. I'm going to ask ChatGPT later. And is Nebraska really going to win it all? Yeah, they are. Someone just told me. I wish they didn't tell me, because then I would have just picked something else. I probably would have picked Long Island. But we have Nebraska winning it all. Yeah, man. This is it. I'm entering it. They're hungry. 63 out of 63 picks are made. They want it bad. Rangoon's perfect picks. People are not going to know what this means. Okay. The game I'm most looking forward to has to be Long Island, St. Louis. I mean, I'm going to be in the front row for that game as well. When this gets proven right and I win the $5 million from ESPN, I will not give you any. Unless you subscribe.